All right, let's use some more trig right here. Page 1 in your packet. Let's do some of this since know we know a lot of these ratios already for these particular problems. We ought to be able to go over here for 32 degrees. We go to our chart. All right, we go to our chart. We look up 32 degrees. What's the ratio supposed to be in? It's supposed to be in 0.6249 to 1. So I'm going to go over here and write that down. I'm going to say, well, the ratio is 0.6249 over 1 should equal my opposite over my adjacent, which is x over 13. So then you can tell in your calculator that you're going to do 13 times that number. 8.1, we will call it. Okay, done, end of story. Right? And as you go through here, you just have to keep referring to the chart for 41 degrees. 41 degrees, well, that would be 0.8693. So I know that it's 0.8693 compared to 1. Now be careful, the triangles are starting to turn on you a little bit. This is the opposite, and that's got to be the adjacent leg. So that would be 4 over x. So I can tell on this one that it's going to be 4 divided by that decimal. 4 divided by 0.8693. So it's going to be 4.6. Solve for that missing side. All right. So you're going to continue to do these problems and look these up. And it's the same thing over and over again. We'll go over here for 28 degrees. 0.5317. And the opposite here is 15. And the adjacent here is x. If you start to look for some patterns right here, you'll figure out that the x is either on top or on bottom. Right there. All right. Or maybe you look for the number. To me, I look for the number because I know when the number is on bottom, I'm going to straight up multiply it in my calculator. When the number's on top, I ended up dividing. Right here, the number's on top. So when you do your algebra, you're going to end up dividing. So it's 15 divided by 0.5317. You can start to look for patterns to speed this up just a little bit. Okay, next thing I need to teach you. This ratio that we keep using, that we have built over here, every time I compare the opposite to the adjacent, when we did this opposite over adjacent ratio, it has a name, okay, when I compare the opposite to the adjacent. It has a name. It's called the tangent ratio. All right, tangent ratio. So this chart, you're wondering if you're going to get this chart to be able to use on your test. No, you're not. All right, you have the chart plus a whole lot more sitting right in front of you. Okay, so instead of me having to go back and forth to this chart, we're going to look it up. All right, it's this button right here called tan that you've always seen right there. That's the tangent ratio. So I'll just type it in. We'll type in tangent of 52 and we'll just look it up. It looks up the chart for us. All right, it's actually more accurate because it carries out a lot more decimals. And I do the tangent of any angle that we want. We can even check the tangent of 45, make sure it's 1. Yeah, it is, because they're in a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, so from this point forward, this is the way I want you to start showing your work, and I'm going to save you some more time. All right, I know it's going to be the tangent of 63, so instead of writing down the decimal, let's just write tangent of 63. We can think of it still as being over 1. Okay, and then it's going to be the opposite over adjacent, so it's 13 over x. So I know when the number's on top, I'm going to end up dividing, and so to save yourself some time, I know it's going to be 13 divided by whatever the tangent of 63 is. I don't even really want to see that. I don't want to know. I'm just going to have the calculator do it all at once. You could type it in like that and get your answer. 6.6. X equals 6.6. Okay. This is how I want you to show your work. I want you to use the tangent. I know I started you off writing down decimals, but I don't want you to write down a bunch of decimals. I want you to show your work like this. All right, let's do this one right down here below it. Here we go. Tangent of 67 equals x over 14. There it is again. This is what you've got to be able to write down. The tangent of the angle equals opposite over adjacent. And then I know I'm going to see what's going to happen right here. It's going to be 14 times the tangent of 67, whatever that is. Again, the fastest way to do this is type it in like this. Notice I didn't even hit times, and I didn't even close the parentheses. You do not have to close the parentheses unless you're going to do something else on at the end like that. Okay? You can do the tangent of 67 first, but you have to close the parentheses, hit times, hit 14. It's a lot more buttons. Okay? The mistake that some people make is they do this, and it's doing the tangent of whatever this is because that's a big number and your calculator follows order of operations. It's not going to give you a number that makes sense. All right, so the fastest way is to type the number in first and then do that. And then you can just put your answer. It'd be 33.0 according to those rounding. All right, so let's look at another one right here. That would be the tangent of 67 over 1 equals x over 7. So here again, this is what I want to see when you show me your work, right? And then we will go and type that in. I can tell that it's going to be 7 times whatever the tangent of 67 is. Okay, that was, I wrote 67, I'm sorry. It's 26. 26. All right, so 7 tangent 26 is 3.4. All right, congratulations. You're doing trig. That's what this is. You can do it. Go. When I say go, do the next page.